Arizona Cardinal news today. A lot of things happening in Cardinal Nation we're getting to right now. If you're watching this channel, you don't know who is this handsome guy looking at you. My name's Anthony from a channel called Anthony Unscripted. Today we're going to talk about Arizona Cardinal news. A lot has been happening with the Arizona Cardinals. Let's get right into it right now. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be very real. I am a longtime Phoenix native, born and raised there. I now live in Dallas, Texas, but I am a Cardinals fan, do or die. If you are as well, smash that like button for more information regarding Cardinals or anything unfiltered or unscripted. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to be very real and raw here. The Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon Monday, on Black Monday. And I'm glad they did. I think we knew it was coming. He had 3 years to prove himself. Didn't prove himself. Cardinals are a team that is, I like to affectionately call them, we are the hospice of the NFL. I know it's like, God, Anthony, that's really bad, but it's also really true. So we have, since moving to Arizona, have struggled. We've had a couple good years, right? We've had some really good years with the Cardinals. We've had some years where they've really stood out and did really well and had glimpses of success and doing well, and we were proud of our Cardinals. But now we see that it's continuing on. So I'm going to unpack it for right now. We fired Drew Petzing. We fired Jonathan Gannon. I knew it was coming. I wonder if he'll keep his $10 million home in PV, Paradise Valley. I don't know. But we fired him. Now it's like we're on the search for a new head coach. Let me just tell you my honest opinions. The Cardinals are the hospice of the NFL. We tend to get people that are on their last leg, and we try to recycle them to be greats. You know, we had Cliff Kingsbury, and before then, what coach we had? We had Keith Wisenhunt, right? Great coach, took us to the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner. Then we had Bruce Arians, great coach. One game away from beating the Panthers, would have been Super Bowl. So we've had some glimpses. They fired. These guys have never been able to turn the corner there in Arizona. We've had some good quarterbacks that have come through, right? We've had Matt Leinart come through. Josh Rosen didn't pan out. Carlson Palmer, I thought he was okay. No one's ever stood out and take the reins and led this team into like true victory. I think the only time I saw the Cardinals do well was with Kurt Warner and with was it Buddy Ryan, right? Buddy Ball. I mean, he did a great job. But the Cardinals are a complete disaster. And before I get started, I'll be very honest with you. It is not. I'm hearing all these pundits talk about it. And here's the problem. The issue is not the coaches. The issue is not Jonathan Gannon, Keith Wisenhunt, Bruce Arians, right? Gene Stallings, Vince Tobin, right? Buddy Ryan, right? That's not the issue. There's a saying I learned in business. Someone taught me this. I don't know who taught me this, but it said a fish rots from the head down, right? So this is starting at leadership. This has to be, I believe, this is all, and I'm being honest, this is all at the feet of Michael Bidwill, right? He's a great businessman. He can fly planes. That is wonderful. But he cannot lead an organization in the NFL. We are the laughingstock of the NFL. And he cannot lead an organization. There's a culture there. I don't know what it is, but there is a culture there in Arizona in that organization that's not able to generate a consistent culture of winning and running a successful franchise in the National Football League. It's just true. And here's the fallacy. Oh, we fired Wisenhunt, we're bringing in Arians. Oh, we fired Arians, we're going to bring in Cliff Kingsbury. Oh, we fired Cliff Kingsbury, we're going to bring in Jonathan Gannon. All these people are made to be the golden child. They're going to save the day. You know, Kyler Murray's going to save the day, right? Kurt Warner's good, and he almost did, right? Kurt Warner's thing, but all these people are going to save the day. Kyler Murray, I wouldn't say Kyler Murray is a bust, but I will tell you that he's in the wrong organization. There's no way Kyler Murray was not successful as he should have been. I guarantee you, if he was drafted on another team, if Kyler Murray was drafted on another team, he'd be successful. If Matt Leinart was drafted on another team, he would have been successful. You can't have college football players come out of college and be Heisman winners and get to the Cardinals and they just stink it up. It's almost like they're cursed because they get in this team and they give the Cardinals and they're horrible and their career never flourishes or even recovers. It's bad. And so, I'm watching the news. I'm hearing about, we're going to interview head coaches. And then that's not the answer, guys. It's Michael Bidwill. I almost feel sad for the next sucker that comes in here and sits at a press conference with his family and sits there next to Bidwill and Monty Ossenfort, and they're going to sit there in a suit, smiling away, and good and well know they're not going to be able to turn this around. Steve Wilkes, I don't think he had a fair shot, and that is not the problem. It's Michael Bidwill. It is his culture. Whatever he's doing in Arizona has not produced winning teams. I'm just telling you right now. So, who is? I was going to say, who is? Where are we at with the Cardinals right now? Okay, so they're interviewing Robert Saleh, and I think that's going to be a bad hire if they try to get this guy. Listen, Robert Saleh, I like him when I saw in Hard Knocks. I think he's a cool dude. But he cannot turn around. You are judged by your previous work, my friend, my guy. And if you couldn't turn around in New York with the Jets, how are you going to turn around as a head coach of the Cardinals with an organization that is bamboozled and just in shambles? Let's just be honest and face it. The culture in Arizona is not the culture they have in San Francisco. That culture is open. It's thriving. They have a good culture, a good leadership there. They're winning. He's doing a great job as a DC, right? You got to know your place in the house. Just because, you may not be a good coach, but your gifting, your calling might be an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, a special teams coach. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, he's an offensive genius. He thrived in that role. I mean, he parted ways recently with, just I think this week with the Commanders, but his gifting is he's a genius when it comes to the offense, but he wasn't a leader of man when it came to running in a head coaching position. And so you're going to get a Robert Saleh that's going to come in here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he's not going to turn this organization around. He's going to look stupid. He's going to, and he will be to blame for it. And so it's just silly and it's frustrating to see them try to go after Robert Saleh. These other DCs, Fancho should not come back. I know he has some history there with the Cardinals. But he was a head coach, I believe, is it Denver? He was somewhere as a head coach, and it didn't work out well. Stop kidding yourself, Michael Bidwill and Monty Ossenfort. These guys are not going to do it. You're reaching for straws. It's not going to work. If you want to win, I think it starts with you guys. My solution to all this, and I am 100% right, and you can disagree, that they need to desperately, Michael Bidwill needs to sell this team and needs to move away. And I believe OKC, there's got to be an owner in OKC that says, I'm going to buy the team. Do what Mark Cuban did. Sell majority of the ownership. It's your family's team. I understand you don't want to sell it to the family. Don't get rid of it altogether. Be a minority owner of it, and just hand the reins over. Sell majority of the ownership to a new team, a new family that can move out of Arizona. Because let's face it, Arizona doesn't have an NFL football culture. I'm born and raised there. I don't live there now, but I was born and raised there my entire life. And we've never had a football culture. We've had good college teams, Arizona State and U of A. I think high school football there is thriving. There's a lot of good players that come out of the Arizona high school systems that do well in college. That's been proven for decades there in Arizona. I played with some of these guys in varsity football there in high school that will, go to these Division I programs and then go to the NFL. So I don't think that's the problem. But when it comes to NFL professional football culture in Arizona, it's just never been there. So my solution is they need to go ahead, sell this team. My recommendation: find an owner in Oklahoma City, sell a team to them, let them move to OKC. They've already won an NBA championship. OKC is thriving for an NFL franchise, right? An NHL franchise, an MLB franchise that can really boost that downtown city up. I mean, they're ready for it. They're primed for it. And I think OKC would be a great fit for an owner to build a stadium, rename that team, do not call it the Cardinals, get rid of that stigma, and under new leadership, thrive in a new city. That is the only way this is going to work. It's not going to work any other way. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to work any other way but to sell this damn team. Now, that's not going to happen. Bidwill's planning some new facility in North Phoenix, I think off the 101 somewhere. He is right to his credit. That facility in Tempe, it's off Warner and Kyrene. I grew up in Tempe. I know where that's at. It's off of Warner. I want to say Warner and Kyrene, right? Between Warner and Elliott or something, off of Kyrene. That facility is very old. I saw a YouTube video and it looked just not run down. It just looked old. The red brick, the weight room looked like something you see at the old gym. I mean, it just looked very shoddy, very run down, very old. They do need a new facility, but that's not going to solve the problem. It's Michael Bidwill and his leadership. So I don't know. I'm just frustrated about that. But we're not there. This is where we're at. So the Robert Saleh's interview, if they hire Robert Saleh, I think he's going to be the front runner. You're not going to see the change you need long term. I think he's going to get in that organization, realize this organization is effed. What the heck's going on? I can't get the wheels turning. If he couldn't do it with Aaron Rodgers in New York, I know Aaron Rodgers got injured. I get it. But if he couldn't do it in New York, what in the world makes you think he's going to be able to do it in Arizona? This is not the 49ers, my friend. You are a great defensive coordinator. Stay in your lane and do that. You did the NFL head coach thing. You weren't successful. So that's silly to think you can do this again. You're not going to be able to do it again. And so that's going to be a bust. I know that. They'll give him about 2 years. He'll be gone. And then Vance Joseph, he's not going to be able to lead that team. He tried an NFL head coach. It didn't work out. He'll be gone. I don't know anything enough about these other guys they're interviewing to say yay or nay. The only name that I think that might do good would be John Harbaugh. And listen, we know he's not going to sell a team. So if you got to pick a coach, you need to go after John. You need to lay all your cards on the table and get this man quick. I know people are saying he should go to New York. He's already on the East Coast with Baltimore. That'd be a great fit. I don't know if John Harbaugh would even want to come to Arizona, knowing how just horrible the franchise is. But he could go to Arizona, and he could turn it around because he's a leader of man, but he's also a leader of the community. He'll bring a culture in there of winning, and that is what the Cardinals need. We don't need a hot shot, Sean McVay, young lookalike dude. We don't need the Vances or the Robert Salehs. We need someone who is proven for the last 18 years and who's won a Super Bowl that can do it. But even with Denny Green did great in Minnesota. Comes here, he couldn't turn it around. If you have any chance of winning, you're going to need to go after John Harbaugh. That's the only thing. And even he might have a hard time in that culture trying to do what he needs to do. But if there's any coach that can do it, he would be the one who needs to do it. And the Cardinals need to go after him. I think his other interviews are silly. If I had my guess and they can't get John Harbaugh, they're gonna offer. And I think Robert Saleh is interested, just kind of what I'm seeing in the news. But they need to go after John Harbaugh if they want to have any chance of winning in Arizona and turn this thing around. I think this is going to be Monty Austinfort's last year. I think he should have been fired as well. I don't think he should have stayed around. I think he should have been let go. But I think Bidwill coming around, this will be his last year. If they have in there a stinker season, he'll be gone too. And you look back to who was it, Steve Keim. towards it, he was there for a long time as a GM, and towards the end, he got sick, right? And all it was, he just didn't want to show his face around there, and it was embarrassing, and it was on him, and so he took a leave of absence for a while, disappeared, and then he was mutually let go. And speaking on Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. I think his height is an issue. I was disappointed to see that. Why couldn't Kyler Murray and your number 4 draft pick, Marvin Harrison Jr. connect? That was ridiculous. I don't know what happened there. Again, goes back to coaching. The players don't run the locker room. They don't run that. You run it. You're the coach. So you get these high-dollar players out there, and these coaches tiptoe around them, kiss their ass, whatever, instead of running your team. And so you need to run your team in a collaboration effort with these high-paid athletes. And so that was silly to see the Kyler couldn't connect with this guy. And then Kyler gets sick or hits his toe or whatever. That was BS. We all know it was BS. Kyler Murray was hiding out. Yes, I'm saying he was hiding out. He was hiding out because he knew this ship was sinking, and it was better for him to be on the injured reserve in the IR. And so it wouldn't be blamed on him, right? Because they would have lost all those games. Probably would have won some, but they would have lost the season, and he would have been blamed for it. He would have been blamed for it. So he just, he took the L and just, I'm injured reserve. I thought it was silly. I don't think he was that hurt. I think he got played, but he wasn't going to. He saw the writing on the wall. He knew this was bad. He wanted to save his face and save his reputation. If he had any chance to go anywhere else, he doesn't want to look like the quarterback that was part of a horrible team losing. So that's my take on this. Go after John Harbaugh. If you want him, you need to grab him. Bidwill, Monty, go after that man, because if you don't, and you hire any one of these knuckleheads you think you're going to turn the team around, Robert Sala's going to get there. He's not going to know what hit him. He's going to look dismayed and dissatisfied. I can guarantee next year they're going to sting up the house. They're not going to win games, and Robert Saleh will be let go in a year. Monty Ossenfort will be let go in a year, and they're going to be looking stupid. So if the Cardinals want to turn it around, you need to sell a team. If you're not going to sell a team, you better bring in John Harbaugh and let him rule the nest the way he needs to, so the Cardinals can win. That's my 2 cents. Anthony Unscripted here. If you found value in this video, click and like, subscribe. I give it to you unfiltered, on raw, no BS here on this channel, and hope we have a better season going forward. Go Cardinals. Peace.